So this week's Vortex is absolutely disgusting, which completely caught me off guard and I barely beat it, and here's how my run went. First off, this boss is as hard as he is for a few reasons like extra speed and HP, but the main one is that the map is Monkey Meadow. So even though it's a beginner map, it loops a few times and the lanes are close to each other, which means that there is no safe space for any tower to not get stunned by Vortex, especially the tier 5, which has a huge stun radius. So the farming was a little more intense than usual. I went for a bunch of marketplaces and a balloon trap, and for the tier 1 Vortex I bought the elite defender buffed by an alchemist. The tier 2 is where you can feel the HP buff for the first time, because usually a single mat can somewhat keep Vortex at bay, but this time he made it pretty far before getting popped. Now usually a Dark Paragon, especially at degree 31, cleans up any tier 3 boss pretty easily, but the mistake that I made was the placement of the Dark Paragon, because it got stunned on 5 out of 7 skulls, and that's when I realized that this thing is gonna be useless later on. So after that I went hardcore on farming, got the Monkeyopolis and filled the entire map with 420 farms, and in hindsight I should have probably overclocked a few of these farms as well. I got a degree 27 Boomer Paragon and I thought my placement was clever in the sense that yeah, it's gonna get stunned at the start of the fight, but later on it should be fine, and the tier 4 Vortex actually made it pretty far and both Paragons were constantly getting stunned, but it still got popped. So for the tier 5 I went all in. I got a degree 30 Ninja Paragon on the right side, spreading them out a little bit, a degree 55 Ace Paragon at the top right, and the VTSG down bottom. And honestly, looking at this setup, I thought everything was gonna be fine, but this boss is just a menace. I mean, the first call, it's only the Boomer that gets stunned, but on the second one is the Dart and the VTSG. On the third one is the Dart, VTSG, and the Boomerang. The fourth one is the Ninja and the Dart. The fifth one is the Dart and the Ace, and the sixth call was the Dart and the VTSG that got stunned. So at this point, the boss was near the end and I had to use the time stop power because I wasn't feeling like restarting the whole thing, and just as it was about to exit, the tier 5 got popped and that was the win. So in hindsight, this boss was actually pretty interesting, but the really serious farming and especially solid and spread out placements are required in order to win, and yeah, that's about how my run went.